Guys, it's the Unsmooth Criminal, and I'm back with part 2 of what if Femdeku was a vampire Neko, or a blood-sucking Neko, whatever you want to call her. And where I left off was with Toga getting to know Midnight and her trying to help Toga over her addictions, or at least help mitigate the addictions. So we go to the entrance exams, and no, I think I already covered the entrance exams. I think. I don't know. If I haven't, I'm going to do it now. If I did, I'm scratching that. I'm doing it now. So, Yui and Toga are walking into the school, and they run across a blue-haired boy with a pink-haired girl. Actually, not a pink-haired girl. A brown-haired girl with dog ears. They run into her. And they run into her. And they start talking because they're all a bunch of mutation quirk people, and they get along. Yui still clings to Toga a lot more than anybody else, but she keeps her distance when it's certain times of the day. And Yui is reminding them at a minute before the test starts that they have a test to get to. And they run into the area, and they see what looks like a dog sitting in the middle of the area. And it transforms into a human, and this dog is strange because they feel like they know him, but they've never seen him before. And they feel like he's just going to be an angry Pomeranian the entire time. And he looks like a Pomeranian too. So they look over and they see the dude with glasses again, and they see his engines. They're like, okay, so quirks are getting weirder and weirder every day. Because when they look on TV, they see people without quirks. They see normal civilians without quirks. But when they look at heroes, they see them wearing costumes and showing off their quirks. So they're just sitting there, and they haven't guaranteed into UA, so they don't need to try very hard, but they've been told to try as hard as they possibly can, or they're going to have a living hell in UA. And Aizawa says they're not going to get any. Well, Yui's not going to get any food until after there's lunch, and she can't eat near Toga, so she won't be able to eat until after school. So Yui tries her hardest. Toga just wants to try her hardest to see if she can be a better person, because she doesn't want Yui and her to be runaways the entire time. So by this time, Toga has gained a hobby of torture and interrogation. And Yui's gotten a little masochistic because she's only like that when Toga gets in the mood to torture people. So Mina sees their reaction, their closeness, and was like, "Ooh, ship." And the Roman shipper is no help these days, so I'm gonna have to make my own ships. Seriously, dude, you need help. But Aizawa also told them that there's dorms being put in, and that they're gonna have to sleep in separate rooms once a week. And Yui just went all berserk, being like, "No, I can't! No, 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 no!" And she started shrinking, because one of her powers is size manipulation. She started shrinking to the size of a 4-year-old and jumps on Toga, being like, "I can't! No!" And she starts hugging and crying because she's been with Toga for pretty much her entire life, and Toga has helped her through a few things, and Toga's the only person who she still feels that cares about her. She doesn't feel the caring compassion from Aizawa, And she especially doesn't feel the care and compassion from Midnight because she doesn't like Midnight. Because Toga's buying this one. Well, she's buying the normal anime, but and she sees the competition. She sees Midnight as competition. And Toga's been hanging out with Midnight, so she's especially fearful of what Midnight will do. So she's very paranoid about Toga being stolen from her, even though Toga knows that she can't be stolen from her little bloodsucker. So they get out to the practical test, and Yui is in the same block as Toga, because if she's not, she's gonna go crazy. And Yui goes into fighting mode. It's not bad. It's not anything out of the ordinary. It's just a simple fighting mode. And this is not when she's fighting normal people. This is when she's fighting robots. She goes into a fighting mode. Her hair changes, it grows, she gets bigger. Well, she kind of gets bigger. She goes to the age of 20 and that's it. Her body goes to the age of 20 and that's it. And she just pulls out a scythe out of midair and like, excuse me? What? And she looks crazy. But Toga's like, later. And Yui hears this and just nods, and Mike says go, and before anybody could blink, Yui punches a hole right through the wall by running through it. So, yeah, this is gonna be funny. And my President Mike says, go, what are you doing? Just stop standing around. God damn it, go. And so they start going. They start destroying robots and completely annihilating them. And, oh crap. Yui finishes up destroying like 40 3-pointers. So she's at 120 points. And she's keeping a very close eye on Toga. And a piece of rubble's about to hit Toga. And she disappears in a blinding flash of speed. A blinding speed. And shows up right behind Toga and slashes the rubble that was about to hit Toga. And then disappears again. Hi, Leo. My cat Leo just found me. So. And she's running around following Toga. And Toga's running around. And she's waiting for everybody else to finish up. And the 0-pointer comes around. And Toga says Yui in a very soft voice. And she appears being like, yeah? And she goes, I need a drop. And Yui goes, you were told not to use it. And she goes, I know, but I need a drop. And Yui goes, okay, 1 drop. And that's it. And she goes, thank you. And she takes a drop of Yui's blood, and this has negative side effects for Toga's quirk, but it also empowers Toga to the strength of Yui for the form that she's in. She has 3 forms. She has this form, the Vamp Kitty form, and the Angel of Death form. Fucking stop, Leo! Stop! God damn it, my cat's being annoying. But she has 3 forms. The Angel of Death, this one, and the Vamp Kitty. So she gives Toga some blood, and Toga turns into this for a split second, and then calms down and turns into the Vamp Kitty. We'll be right back. No! Cat's being annoying. And Toga turns into this. And she runs straight to the 0-pointer and starts ripping it apart. Yes, that's how strong Yui is. In normal form. Not the second form. And the 0-pointer is about to crush Toga, and Yui steps in and takes Toga out of there. and the zero pointer falls and shatters pretty much into a million pieces because Toga was using claws and just cutting it up into tiny little pieces. So Toga gets out of that form and she's hyperventilating because she had the rush of the blood on from her quirk. And Yui hugs her, saying, "It's okay, it's okay." And Toga's about to bite Yui, and Yui grabs her by the throat, saying, "I can't let you do that. You've already had your fill." And Toga goes, "But just one more drop, please." And she goes, "I'm sorry, but no." And so she slaps a collar on Toga and says, "I'm sorry, but no." And Toga passes out because her quirk was pretty much taking over from the uh, addiction. And she slapped a quirk canceling collar on Toga so Toga's quirk doesn't take over. And Yui picks Toga up and, in a blinding speed, takes her to Recovery Girl, her office, and just sits there waiting for Toga to wake up. And Yui gets tired, so she transforms into little child Yui, and she curls up next to Toga and sleeps. And hold on, I'll be right back. By the way, Toga doesn't really look like Canon. She looks like this, just with fangs and an actual arm for her left arm. Just to tell you. And Recovery Girl gets back to her office and sees them lying there and is like, "I wonder why Aizawa was so protective of them." And then she sees the little ears and she goes, "Oh, damn cat fetish." Well, back to work, and she starts working on the little paper and slips that she has for medical issues and documents that she has to fill out after every test and school activity. And Toga wakes up and can't get up because Yui's on her, and so she pokes Yui's face, and Yui slowly wakes up and yawns. And she starts waking up like a cat. She stretches and yawns. Oh, crap. And she's currently in child form, and Toga says, "You're cute like that," and then Yui goes, "Thank you." And Recovery Girl goes, "Both of your dorms are ready. Why don't you just go over and see them?" And Yui goes, "Okay." And she walks to the door and says, "Toga, are you coming?" And she goes, yeah." So Toga gets up and she's still a little exhausted from using her quirk, but she's getting better at controlling the urge for blood. Blood. And Yui is very supportive of Toga because she's basically addicted to Toga. And when Toga's not looking, sometimes when Toga's sleeping, Yui takes a bite out of Toga. And not just anywhere on Toga's neck, right at the base of her neck. And Toga normally wears a low collar, and it's been there since as long as she can remember, so she doesn't know where she's getting it, but it's always either closed or open. And Yui has been doing this for years now, and the only person that she gets a high off of blood for is Toga. And Toga normally takes a nap, and then at some times she wakes up in the middle of the night and is in a kinky kind of mood, and she wakes up Yui, and Yui is already taken a bite out of Toga. So she's filled up on blood for Toga to do whatever the hell she wants. And so Yui and Toga get to the dorms. They see Aizawa unpacking boxes and sees the cooler and Yui goes, "Oh, food?" And he goes, "Yeah, I saw what happened, and I know why you did it. And Toga goes, yeah, I broke my promise. And he goes, no, 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 you didn't. You promised not to go over a minute of your quirk. And she goes, I did? And he goes, yeah. He's lying through his teeth because he doesn't want to fill her with guilt. So, oh god. That's going to be strange. So he just says, yeah, you didn't break our promise. Uh, you can continue with what you guys have been doing. So Yui goes, yay! And she runs to her room with the cooler and puts the cooler in her freezer, or no, her fridge, and she starts putting it all in the racks and making sure that they're separated just enough so they can stay good and fresh. And Yui has now been is now a official member of the UA student population, and Toga is waiting on hers because Yui is the one that normally killed the more people, and because she would drain them dry and Toga would just cut them, and then Yui would drain them of the rest of their blood. So Yui is forced to be in UA, and Toga is offered the position in UA, and Toga took it. So we skip a week. Toga gets the letter from Nezu saying that you are officially in UA. Welcome to your Hero Academia. And she goes, yay. And Yui says, let's celebrate. And she walks up to Toga, and in a very seductive way, she takes a bite out of Toga. And Toga gets into a very kinky mood. And a full day of torture later, they're asleep on Toga's bed. And she's finally coming down from her high, and so so we skip to the first day of school. And Yui is cracking a thermos to use to hold her blood, and she steps into class with only a thermos on, or only a thermos and a camel pack. And everybody's like, what's in the camel pack? She goes, my stuff, and no one can touch it. And so the Pomeranian that walks into class, and she goes, oh, can I go drop kick it, Aizawa? And he goes, no, that's a student for this class. It's a quirked animal. It's a freaking Pomeranian that has a human form. And she goes, what? It's a quirked animal. And it looks at her and says, you got a fucking problem with that, bitch? And she goes, it's a fucking Pomeranian that is angry. I like this guy. He's an angry fucking Pomeranian. He goes, my name's fucking Bakugo, bitch. And she goes, no, it's not. Not anymore. You're angry Pomeranian now. He goes, the fuck? And she goes, yeah. And first off, I'm not a dog. I'm a fucking vampire cat. So you can go fuck off. And she flips him off, and Aizawa goes, calm down, both of you. We know dogs and cats don't get along. And everybody looks at Mina and Bakugo and Hagakure and Yui and be like, sir? And he goes, what? And they point at them and go, how'd they get in here? I thought it was only Hero Corps students. And he goes, those are Hero Corps students. Well, she isn't. And he points at Yui, and she goes, I'm a rehab. And I go, a what? And she goes, film rehabilitation. Rehabilitation. Yeah. And they go, what did you do? I killed villains. I drained them of their blood. It was so good. And she's grinning and she has her fangs out. And he's like, ew. She's a vampire. So we go to the first day. Yeah, we're on the first day. Aizawa goes, okay, everybody outside. Get your gym clothes on. So they go to the locker room and Toga gets undressed and Yui walks up to her seductively and takes a bite out of her. And Toga's like, you shouldn't be doing this. And she goes, you'll do your best because we can have fun later if you do. And she whispered that into Toga's ear, and Mina heard this and be like, so definitely ship. And so, ooh, I want to do one. I just need a good quirk and picture for that. What if Fem Deku was a villain? I want to do one of those. So, oops. So, Mina quickly changes. She's in her PE outfit. Yui changes. She's in her PE outfit. And Toga changes. And she's in her PE outfit. And Yui's PE outfit, she grew to a size it's really tight on. Just to frick with the guys and mess with Toga. And Toga sees this and goes, oh, god damn it. Oh, god. Fucking Christ. Stop adding me while I'm recording. Ugh. But, so, they get out there and Aizawa says, okay, Yui, since you're the one who has the most fighting experience, here's the ball. And she grabs it and goes, can I throw it? Is Angry Palmy Rain going to chase after it? And he goes, Bakugo, go into the gym. And he goes, sir, yes, sir. And he walks into the gym and he's supposed to be in there for a while. And he goes, everybody's going to throw it. I'm going to call Bakugo out. He's going to throw it. And then everybody else can continue on what they're doing with these tests. So everybody throws it. Everybody does the rest of the tests. And Yui, having her camel pack on, drank out of it while in class. And everybody's like, what? Why is the tube red? And she goes, that's the color of the fluid I drink. And that's the only thing I can eat, too. So you could go fuck off and stop worrying about me. And at the end of the day, someone comes in. I am here to tell you that in 1 week we are doing the Heroes vs. Villains training, and you need to have your hero costumes in by the end of the week. And they all look at him and go, okay. So they start thinking of hero costumes, and Yui is like, I already got one. Oh my fucking god. They are like, I already got one, so they start. Oh, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go do something in a minute, but I could be on Discord, so I'll be talking to you guys if you guys join Discord. So everybody is getting back to class. They got back to class the next day, and everybody except for Yui and Toga put in a hero suit design, and everybody's like, what? Why didn't you put in a hero suit design? And she says, I already did. Don't imagine the wings. Imagine it's Kitty Cat. That's what she put in as design. And that's what Toga designed. I'm just leave it here. So we skip a few days, and everybody's asking everybody about their quirks, trying to get to know each other, and they fall onto Yui and Toga. Toga gladly says her quirk is mimic. She needs to have at least a drop of blood, and she can mimic anybody's quirk and appearance. And they look at her and go, damn, that's strong. And she goes, yeah, but there's a severe drawback. If I have blood, I have an addiction to it, and I can get a severe uh, case of addiction. And I could start hyperventilating, I start freaking out if I have too much blood or haven't had it in a while. I have it all of a sudden, and I get withdrawals again. And they're like, that sucks. And she goes, yeah. Also makes me a little crazy. And Yui says, I'm a vampire and a kitty cat. I can change into a bat. I got 3 forms, not including the bat. And Toga's mine. And she jumps on Toga in small, easy Yui form. And they're like, okay. And I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you guys later.